Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Rajwant Kaur from DAV College Jalandhar. Today we are going to talk on module Organization Development Interventions and Overview from paper Organizational Change and Development. After completing this module, you will be able to understand the concept of OD interventions. You can describe a classification of OD interventions. You can discuss guidelines for structuring and implementing interventions, and you will be in a position to explain benefits of OD interventions. So first of all, I am going to explain meaning of OD interventions. Interventions are planned set of actions or activities initiated systematically to change situations in the organization which the organization members want to change. According to French Bell and Vohra, OD interventions are set of structured activities in which selected organizational units, that is target groups or individuals, engage in a task or a sequence of tasks with the goals of organizational improvement and individual development. The field of OD uses a wide variety of approaches, processes, techniques or methods, often termed as interventions, to address organizational issues and problems in order to increase performance, team building, role analysis, parallel learning structures, quality of work life, quality circles, MBO, total quality management are few examples of OD interventions. The range and scope of OD interventions have increased the power of OD as a complete strategy for change. Next comes features of OD interventions. The OD interventions are vehicles for causing change and have certain distinguishing features like interventions are structured activities used individually or in combination to improve task performance or processes. Most OD interventions have twin goals, educational goal and accomplishing a task goal. Some problem solving OD interventions focus on a real problem central to organization's needs rather than hypothetical problem. OD interventions use several learning models. For example, traditional learning model is used when learning precedes doing, and there is another model of learning, that is deficiency model, in which action precedes learning. Most interventions are directed to solve problems related to human side of organizations. OD interventions bring desired results when these are carefully planned, implemented and monitored. Interventions can be classified on the basis of goals they tend to achieve. Let us discuss classification of OD interventions. OD practitioners have created a variety of interventions to help organization members address specific problems in an effective way. These have been classified on the basis of goals to be achieved through their implementation or target group to be focused. So the next classification which I am going to discuss is based on the goals to be achieved. So on this basis, first is diagnostic activities. These activities are fact-finding activities which aim at ascertaining the true state of problem or system. Such activities explore the way things are happening so that scope for improvement can be determined. Questionnaires, surveys, interviews, meeting, examination of organizational records are some of the traditional methods of data collection. Projective device like asking individuals to build a collage representing their place in the organization is modern method of diagnosing the situation. Training and educational activities. Such activities aim at improving individuals' abilities and skills. Tea group consisting of strangers can be used to educate or train individual in isolation from his or her own work group to improve individual skill, or individual in his or her work group can be educated to learn how to better manage interpersonal conflict. Thus, technical skills necessary for performing tasks. Other skills like decision making, problem solving, goal setting, leadership, and interpersonal competence are improved through such activities. The individuals also learn about responsibilities and functions of group members. Next classification is technostructural or structural activities. These activities are designed to improve effectiveness of organization structure either by experimenting with new organization structure or devising new ways to use technical resources. In other words, these activities include a wide range of change efforts such as changes in task, structural systems and technological systems to enhance organization effectiveness, management by objectives, job enrichment, collateral organizations, socio-technical system are few examples of structural activities. Next is team building activities. A team is a small number of people with complementary skills who have higher commitment to common goal and high degree of interdependency than ordinary group. The team building activities are designed to improve team's effectiveness through effective management of task demands, relationship demands, and team processes. Some team building activities focus on intact work team comprising of boss and subordinates called as formal group or natural team. Other activities focus on special teams such as cross-functional teams, startup teams, newly constituted teams due to changes in organization structure or mergers. Various techniques and exercises used in team building include role analysis technique, interdependency exercise, role negotiation technique, the appreciations and concerns exercise, responsibility charting, forced field analysis and visioning. Intergroup activities. These activities aim at improving effectiveness of interdependent groups when the joint efforts of the groups are necessary to produce common output. There is a need of better intergroup relations. Intergroup interventions aim at increasing communications and interactions between work related groups, creating awareness of the necessity for best efforts on the part of both groups and reducing the amount of dysfunctional competition. Activities designed to enhance work effectiveness of two groups are called interface or intergroup activities, whereas activities focused at more than two groups are called organizational mirroring. Next is process consultation activities. These activities are designed to help client understand human and social processes and learn to solve various problems that emerge from process events, communications, problem solving, and group decision making, leadership, authority delegation, leader and member roles in groups, intergroup cooperation are some of the important organizational processes. The consultant works with groups and individuals of the organization and helps them to develop necessary skills for diagnosing and solving the process problems that emerge in client's system. These activities can better be described as approach or method which enables client to learn skills of diagnosing and managing processes in a better way. Third party peacemaking activities. Such activities are designed to help two individuals working in the organization to resolve their interpersonal conflicts with the help of third party, that is a skilled consultant. The consultant uses confrontation tactics to resolve conflict. The third party or consultant know how, when and where to use confrontation tactics which expose the conflict for examination and intervenes directly or indirectly in facilitating dialogue between the two parties. Next is strategic management activities. These activities help policymakers at top level in two ways. One is making them realize the organization's mission, purpose, goals, and environmental threats as well as opportunities. And other one is engaging in long-term action planning. These activities thus direct attention of key policymakers towards consideration of external environment, that is environmental analysis and formulation of long-term future plans of proactive and reactive nature, that is strategic planning. Strategic management activities are necessary for organizations' survival and growth. Grid organization development activities. Grid OD program involving various activities is a systematic organization development program developed by Robert R. Blake and Jane S. Mouton. It is a 6-phase change model requiring 3 to 5 years to complete and involvement of the whole organization. The first phase includes assessing and upgrading individual managers' skills and leadership styles. Next phase includes activities focusing on development of teams and teamwork. Third phase focuses on improvement of intergroup relations. Fourth phase comprises of activities like corporate strategic planning with major focus on developing an ideal strategic corporate model. Next phase represents the activities for effective implementation of strategic corporate model. The last phase is the evaluation phase, which comprises of activities like measuring the progress made, knowing barriers to overcome and knowing new opportunities which may be exploited and looking towards future directions. Next comes survey feedback activities. Survey feedback activities include use of attitude or climate survey and use of feedback workshops. In other words, these activities comprise of collecting data through questionnaire about system and providing that data to individuals and groups at all levels for analysis and interpretation and designing corrective actions. Objective data about systems functioning is provided to system members so that they can improve or change the selected aspects of the system. Well-designed survey also provides information to the organization members about progress towards goal and for determining necessary actions. Next comes organization transformation activities. These activities are designed to bring large-scale system changes, organization structure, selection procedure, reward systems, management philosophy, culture, job design, training and compensation methods, mission and values, etc. are changed. Total quality programs and programs creating high performance work systems are transformational. These are initiated to bring fundamental changes in the organization system. Open systems planning and socio-technical systems theory are the basis for such activities. Next is life and career planning activities. These activities are individual specific and enables individuals to learn their life and career goals and ways to achieve them. Such activities include assessing individuals' capabilities, strength, weakness, and determining career and life goals as well as need for additional training. Then comes counseling activities. Activities that help individuals working in the organization to get feedback about their behavior from immediate superior or other organization members and learning new behaviors for better achievement of goals are covered under counseling activities. So, the whole discussion indicates that OD interventions cover wide range of activities and increase theoretical knowledge and practical experience. Some interventions are directed towards specific problems like third party peacemaking activities, while others are directed towards specific targets like life and career planning activities are individual specific and team building activities are related to work teams. Few interventions are process specific like process consultation activities. Now, Blake and Mouton's contribution in the field of consultation and intervention. Blake and Mouton proposed a topology called the Council cube, which is considered a major contribution in the field of consultation and intervention. It is a 100-cell cube built on 3 dimensions. The first dimension is what the consultant does. The consultant uses 5 basic types of interventions. First is acceptant, that is, the consultant gives the client a sense of acceptance and support. Second is catalytic, that is, the consultant helps client in generating data to reframe client's perceptions. Third is confrontation, that is, the consultant surfaces discrepancies in client's beliefs and actions. Fourth is prescription, that is, the consultant tells client the ways to solve problem. Fifth is theories and principles, that is, the consultant teaches behavioral science theory to the client to help him learning how to diagnose and solve problems. The second dimension of the cube is focal issues creating clients' problems. According to Blake and Mouton, there are 4 major issues causing clients' problems. These are power or authority, goals or objectives, standard or norms of conduct, and morale or cohesion. The third dimension is the unit of change, that is the target group of consultation. 5 units have been proposed, namely individual, group, intergroup, organization, and social systems. These interventions, focal issues, and units of change determine the range of consultation possibilities. Blake and Mouton did pioneering work and proposed a theory and typology which is useful in consultation field. Next topic is guidelines for OD practitioners while structuring activities. So certain points should be kept in mind while structuring interventions to increase their effectiveness, and these are: number 1 is the expectations or goals of practitioners or clients set through interventions should be realistic. These should be attainable with little bit more hard work. The accomplishment of such goals gives feeling of success and boosts the morale of people involved. If participants fail to achieve such realistic goals, the reasons should be examined thoroughly to avoid failures in future. Clarity of goal and the way to reach it is must while designing any activity to improve organizational effectiveness. People directly affected by a problem or opportunity should be involved while designing various activities or actions. For example, if the focus is to improve customer service, customers should be involved. There is a need to engage team members in activities if the purpose is to improve team effectiveness. The activity will be more rewarding and successful if it is oriented to the problems or opportunities defined by the clients themselves. The clients provide full support in such situations. Conceptual as well as experience-based learning should be focused in every activity. Learning becomes more integrated and effective for the individual when experience is related to the conceptual material and other experiences. Efforts should be made to develop such climate for the activity in which people become more sportive and show willingness to accept change and learn together. Activity should be designed in a way that it will enable people learn how to solve a problem and also learn how to learn. There is a need to design the activity to develop team spirit among people. Individuals should be engaged as part of team and not as segmented persons. Activity or intervention should be relevant to and instrumental for achieving goals. Next topic is guidelines for effective integration and implementation of intervention activities. The interventions produce desired results when these are implemented in an organized way. So, there should be certain considerations which will help in effective implementation of intervention activities, and these are: interventions should be integrated in a way to make rational use of organizational resources such as time, money, and energy. There should be no overlapping of interventions as it will lead to wastage of scarce resources of organization. Interventions having impact on organization's performance should be introduced prior to the interventions having bearing on individuals or organizational culture. Interventions that will provide necessary data required to make further intervention decisions should be implemented first. This will particularly help change agents in choosing appropriate interventions when they do not know much about situation. Interventions should be integrated in a manner that will ensure desired progress for attaining objective of organizational improvement. Slow progress during implementation stage will lead to undesirable delay coupled with unpleasant outcomes. Thus, timely results must be ensured by properly choosing and sequencing the intervention activities. Let us now discuss outcomes of OD interventions. Different interventions produce different results. One intervention may increase interaction between group members, while other intervention may increase accountability. So, various results of different OD interventions are: number 1, education. Educational activities upgrade knowledge, skills, beliefs, and attitudes which help in understanding organizational processes, better management of social relationships, and change and achievement of targets. OD interventions such as life and career planning, self-directed teams, behavior modeling serve this purpose. Next is greater accountability. Role analysis technique, MBO, quality circles, self-managed teams, responsibility charting increase people's accountability. These activities focus on clarifying role and responsibilities of individuals, monitoring their performance in relation to defined responsibilities, and finding causes of deviations to take corrective action. Thus, ultimate thrust is on accountability, which improves individual and group performance. Next is feedback. It means getting information about oneself, other organization members, group, processes, or organization which may lead to change. This new information may change perception and behavior of individuals by presenting an objective picture of real world. Coaching and counseling, process consultation, survey feedback, sensitivity training are some of the OD interventions which focus on providing feedback. Next outcome is more involvement of employees. Involving more persons in goal setting, problem solving, decision making, or new idea generation develop a sense of belongingness among them. Participation promotes employees and organizations' well-being. It also increases the quality and degree of acceptance of decisions. Quality circles, survey feedback, team building, MBO, quality of work-life projects promote employee involvement. Next comes motivation and increased optimism. Visioning, self-managed teams, appreciative inquiry, search conferences, and quality of work-life programs are some of the OD interventions that result in high motivation and increased optimism. These activities remove mental bottlenecks and develop positive outlook towards change initiatives. People get motivated through vision of new possibilities for organizations' survival and growth. They participate wholeheartedly in all organization change efforts for attaining a desired future. Another outcome is increased people's readiness for change. People become aware of changing socio-cultural norms and modify their behavior, values, and attitude to keep them in line with new norms. They realize that only change is permanent in this world and desired outcomes at individual as well as organizational level can be generated through new set of goals, modified or new structures, change in perception and behavior, learning new skills, new work practices, and so on. This awareness encourages people to accept change or initiate change for their own betterment. Counseling, culture analysis, socio-technical system programs, life and career planning, and intergroup team building activities help in creating awareness and motivating people to participate in OD activities wholeheartedly. Let us now summarize what we have learnt in this module. Interventions are planned set of actions or activities initiated with the goals of organizational improvement and individual development. The field of OD uses a wide variety of approaches, processes, techniques, or methods, often termed as interventions, to address organizational issues and problems in order to increase performance. Team building, survey feedback, role analysis, life and career planning activities, cultural analysis, parallel learning structures, quality of work life, quality circles, MBO, total quality management are few examples of OD interventions. The range and scope of OD interventions have increased the power of OD as a complete strategy for change. Blake and Mouton proposed a typology called the Council Cube, which is considered a major contribution in the field of consultation and intervention. It is a 100-cell cube built on 3 dimensions. The first dimension is what the consultant does. The second dimension of the cube is focal issues, creating clients' problems. The third dimension is the unit of change, that is, the target group of consultation. 5 units have been proposed, namely individual, group, intergroup, organization, and social systems. These interventions, focal issues, and units of change determine the range of consultation possibilities. Certain points should be considered while structuring and implementing the intervention activities: education, greater accountability, feedback, more involvement of employees, motivation, and increased optimism, increased people's readiness for change, better communication are some of the results experienced through successful implementation of OD interventions. Thank you.